Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
The BBC has learnt that tens of millions of pounds of public money is feared to have been lost to fraudsters who are targeting the government's universal credit benefit system. Often pretending to be from the local job centre, the scammers offer to get money on behalf of claimants in return for a fee. The unsuspecting claimants often realise they've been duped only when their current benefits stop, they're left in debt and having to repay the money to the government. One government source has told us that around 100,000 requests for universal credit loans are made each month and 10% are suspected to be fraudulent, with the typical illegal loan totalling around £1,500. It means fraud with universal credit is potentially 4 times higher than with other benefits. With this exclusive report, here's our social affairs correspondent, Michael Buchanan.
Universal Credit is a new service that helps ensure you're better off in work than you are on benefits.
It's the welfare benefit that has become the fraudster's friend. And how much did you get?
In my bank account was £1,525.
And how much did you have to pay him?
£1,000.
Exploiting an online loophole to leave people in debt.
He told me I'd put in for universal credit.
And that was the first you knew of it?
And that was the first to know.
Tens of millions of pounds stolen from taxpayers.
To see that it's happening on this extent is an absolute scandal.
Jade Thomas is a victim of the fraudsters. She was offered £500 by a man who said he could access government grants. Unbeknown to her, the mum of 5 was signed up online for universal credit. The first she knew was when her other benefits were stopped and she went to the job centre.
They told me that they'd signed up for 5 children with different names, children I don't have with different ages. They told me that I'd been signed up with a 5-bedroom house when I'm only in a 3.
The fraudster took 2/3 of the £1,500 he'd claimed on her behalf. The money was a loan. She has to pay it all back to the government, but she wasn't the only one.
I'd say altogether there's one before me and my friend, and 4 to 5 others, so about 7, 8 people.
And he was signing you all up fraudulent for universal credit?
Yeah.
In an hour or 2?
Mm-hmm.
So over those couple of hours, he made thousands of pounds?
Yeah.
Job centre officials say the extent of the fraud is staggering, that money is pouring out of the public purse. Messages on an internal government online forum seen by the BBC highlight the extent of the problems. How many more times can claimants add children named Ha, Ha and Ha to their UC claims, or add a landlord called Harry Kane, or add any other obviously made-up names to claim a UC advance? This is a massive issue. They are literally making up street names and children. I have Lisa, Bart and Homer recently, Simpsons cartoon characters, getting the money and we never hear from them again. A lot of what we see is uni students being approached to make a claim for a fee, 19 years old with 6 blind children. The loss of taxpayers' money could be in the region of £20 million.
This is absolutely a slap in the face to people who are struggling and in poverty, that the government are wasting money on fraud that they should be stopping and preventing before this rollout goes any further.
Angela Parry is now paying the cost of being scammed. She's been investigated for fraud after a man claimed he could offer her a payday loan, but instead signed her up for universal credit. So you're going to have to pay £60 a month until you repay the £1,500?
Yeah.
And you've lost the benefits you were on?
Yeah.
What have the past few weeks been like?
Bit daunting, thinking me rent, council tax and things, where I'm going to get the food, where I'm going to get gas and lecky. They told me to go to a food bank.
One irony of these problems is that universal credit was actually designed to save £1 billion in fraud and error.
Well, Michael, it's clearly a very serious problem. What is the government doing to try and stop these scammers?
Well, in a statement this evening, the Department of Work and Pensions told us that they are aware of it. They have a team of people trying to identify fraud cases, and they are telling people not to give their bank details in particular out to anybody. that they don't actually know. But there is deep frustration among frontline job centre officials about this problem and the length of time it is taking the leadership of the department, the government, to actually do anything about it. One official in those chat rooms I referred to described it as putting the department to shame. Another one says all of us on the shop floor are screaming about it, but nobody is listening to us who has any influence. This scam has essentially been going on for a number of months, but the problem that it's trying to solve, or the problem the government were trying to solve, goes back a number of years. Essentially, universal credit was designed to be paid in arrears and that people would have to wait 6 weeks for their first payment. That was creating hardships, and so they had decided to make it a 5-week wait and to make these advances available much quicker, sometimes within the hour. An online check, nobody actually checks the ID, and the idea is that the hardships would be removed. But it's actually become an opportunity for scammers to actually make a staggering amount of money.
Michael, thank you.